Good evening, everybody. I hope you've had a lovely week. Here in the UK, we had some extreme weather last week. It was really, really hot at 40.3 degrees or something. It was a record for the UK. Luckily, I've got aircon, but there was a lot of people that were really struggling. And there was obviously, there was fires and all sorts of broken out. So I'm pleased to say it's definitely cooler. It's not cold, certainly not, but it's certainly cooler than it was, and certainly a bit more palatable for most people. So obviously, Shannon was on last week with me, and we did some questions and answers for people because I'm always getting asked questions. So it was nice to kind of cover quite a few in my show last week. Obviously, if anybody's ever got any questions, you can always email me or visit my Facebook page and message me through there. And I will come back to you, as and when I can. But certainly I'll get back to you with things if it's relating to how I get information or things like that. I'm more than happy to share that with you. So I wanted to do a little bit of teaching today and talk about, and I did some tarot cards before we came. And last time when I did a tarot card, it was the moon that came up. And interesting enough, it was pretty much about a month ago when we discussed the moon. And we were coming to full moon or about, 2 to 3 weeks ago. So I wanted to pull a few cards as a general message for lots of people out there because, it's not always easy to get the free reading or the free or get through on the lines. So it's a kind of message, and I feel that they're giving me this because it's going to be appertaining to quite a few people. So the first card out is the Lovers. It's a major arcana, and the Lovers isn't necessarily about lovers, though it could be, but it's about choices. It's saying that you're making a choice. Shall I go this way or that way? However, the Lovers is all about a trade-off as well. So it does mean you're never going to be able to have everything. So an example might be that there is a job that actually you would like more than the one you're doing, and it may pay more. However, you may have to travel more distance to do it. So the trade-off is that you're not going to be home as early in the evenings and maybe have to leave home a bit earlier. But the trade-off is really, it's your choice whether you take it or not. And that's the positive thing about the Lovers. But it does mean you just can't have everything. If it was about people, it would be, sometimes we stick with the old, but not necessarily it's the right thing because we hold on to what we know, when in actual fact, we should be letting it go. And that's kind of really what the next card is saying. But I wanted to stick with the Lovers for a moment. So it's quite a complex card because it does mean we've got choices, but it always means it is our choice, but we have to weigh everything up. The good news is you can't really get it wrong because you have to go with what your overriding feeling is. And it may be that, it's not possible to take that job because it's further away, because you have children that you need to be home for and you don't have childcare arrangements for them. So in which case, the reason is you stay with where you are or take the job that's closer. Even if it wasn't your dream job, it kind of fits with where you are for now. And I always believe that when the right time comes, they will give you that offer again. Maybe not that exact job, but the right thing will come along. So it's choices we have to make, but we do struggle with them sometimes. So interesting enough, I do think there's a lot of people having to make choices, whether it be, shall I stay in the house I'm in? Shall I stay in the relationship I'm in? And that's not always a love relationship, i.e. husband and wife or partner. It could be just a friendship sometimes, but there are a lot of things happening at the moment. In fact, I think there's a new moon in a couple of days' time, and that tells us there's new beginnings. So this is why we get a little bit of a shake up at this time of the month, because it's kind of like, okay, where am I going and what I'm doing? And it's about moving on. So the Lovers is a lovely positive card, but it does mean it's going to challenge you to make the right decision for you. So the next card that came out was the Eight of Cups. And that's really interesting because following the choice that you make, it does say that you're walking away from a situation that is no longer acceptable to you. Again, that is your choice card, but it wouldn't mean that you would have given it all in that situation. So if you are in the wrong relationship and are wanting to walk away, now's the time to do it because they will reward you. We'll talk about the next card in a moment. But it's all about understanding and doing what is in your heart. not necessarily what's in your head, because you have to go with what you feel, particularly on a spiritual level. But know that you would have done everything you could have done, particularly if you are breaking up in a relationship, that you would have given your all. And so don't feel guilty about it, because there's only so much we can give. But also, if it was a job we were walking away from, just walk away from it, because actually, again, you'll have done everything you possibly can. It might just be that, that they've got nothing more they can teach you, or it could be that actually they're just overworking you, or a number of other reasons. So having made the choice, you are certainly walking away, and you certainly will feel happy about it, because your next card out is the Three of Wands. And I always call this ship's coming in card. And it does mean that all that work and all those things you've put yourself through and the decisions you've had to make are really going to pay off for you. So it is a time to start reaping rewards from the choices that you've made, and knowing that it's not actually going to take that long, because interestingly enough, they were the first three cards. I just pulled three cards saying I want a general reading for everybody out there, because I think a lot of us are struggling at the moment. It might even be, that petrol's so high. Should I go to electric car? There are so many decisions, I think, that's being made at this moment in time, certainly in the UK. And I think it's pretty global, listening to the global news as well. I think, it shared things. So overall, the Lovers, making the right choice for yourself, walking away from the situation, and then starting to reap the benefits that come in, is really good for all of you. So please don't sit on the fence, because it definitely is a time for shake-up. And we always said that 2022 was a year of change. But I always felt that the first half of 22 was quite a difficult time for everybody. It was get on your hamster wheel and just keep going, just keep working, and something will give, something will take us in the right direction. I actually feel for the people that have put the work in the first part of 2022. The second half of 2022 is better, in that I've made my choices, I've done my hard work, and now it's time to reap those rewards. So I do think things generally are going to pick up, even though if you listen to the news with the economy and everything else, I don't think it is. But I felt more on a personal level, because whatever the bills are going to be, they're going to be, so whatever the price of electricity, the price of gas, the price of fuel, it will be whatever it will be. We will adjust to that, because actually as humans we always do, but still making the decisions that's right for you to take you into the second half of the year is just so important. So don't be shy away from it because of the economy. Be brave. Even some clients today was like, they were expanding their business. Is it the right time? Absolutely. It was the right thing for them, because not every business is going to shrink just because the economy is going down. And maybe it won't be as bad as what we perceive it will be, because, maybe the governments will step in and do something, because most of it would be about the fuel prices for heating and lighting, certainly in the UK. I know everything's going up, but I think that's going to be a big thing for everybody. And I don't know, and I think that's pretty much everywhere as well, because I gather it was pretty expensive, US and Canada, etc. So certainly it's a big bright time. And look, then the fourth card out is about victory. So it does mean you'll be victorious, which is kind of what I've been getting. Sorry about that, I've lost my ear. But certainly I was feeling that we would be victorious. So again, I think we should be brave, irrespective of what things are the government's saying about the economy and everything else. If you want to make that change, and you get that chance to make the change, please make your choices now, because it's going to take you through to the next phase of like next year and beyond, the second half of the year and beyond. So this is an exciting time for change. Okay, I have a caller now, Ava from Colorado. Yes? Hello, Ava.
Yes.
Hello.
This is she.
Welcome.
Can you hear me?
Hello. I can hear you, Ava. How are you?
I'm okay for right at the moment.
Okay. What did you want from me today?
I been told that I was special to the spirit world, and I was a child when this person told me, and it kind of shocked me. So she asked me if I understood what she meant. Um, and I said yes because I was shocked. But honestly, I didn't know what she meant, and I tried to hunt her down, and I found out she passed away. So uh, I need to know what she meant by special because there's so many areas in my life that I can be special. But I'm sure she was talking about a specific area, but I'm not for sure.
Okay. I wasn't there at the moment that she said that to you. One thing I do get though, and I feel all of us that are um, in this, special, if you like, to spirit, it's either you've been almost put as an earth angel in some ways, which is an example to people, or helping people. That's how I feel, more earth angel, to be honest with you. So it means that you would be showing goodness to people, showing people as an example. Not I'm an example, but you would just naturally do it. And so people would be actually quite overwhelmed, whether it be helping somebody out paying their bill, whether it be helping them with their shopping, making sure that they had a visitor, all those sorts of things. That's usually what somebody from, I think, when somebody says that you're from the spiritual world. But I also feel like you've had a really tough time, Ava.
Yes. Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's another, yeah. And I've often said, and I think I said it, I don't know if I said it in my show last week, but I believe the people that are the best readers, the best spiritual people out there have had the toughest time because I just feel they get it. It's almost like they just understand it. I can't explain it in any other way, but I think spirit can then use you as an example of how things can be, even though you've been through the toughest of times. I don't know if that's helping you at all. Can I ask you, is your mum in spirit?
Is my what?
Is your mother in
I did,
spirit?
no, not my mother. Um, my stepmother is. Uh,
There's no
but
there's no
if
step in
if
spirit. So that okay. Because I
okay,
just want to say to you that there's a kind of message for you to say you're going along the right tracks. Just keep going. So for me, there's something that you're doing at the moment that she is saying you're definitely in the right direction. Funny enough, my talk earlier was about choices, shall I go this way or that way? But I also feel like she's circling her heart. So I want to understand, Ava, have you had a heart issue?
uh, no, a high cholesterol, but not heart issues.
Okay, it could cause a heart issue. That's what high cholesterol does. She's circling your heart. So I'm just going to say keep an eye on it because that's what she was giving me. But I do feel like, Ava, you do neglect yourself at the expense of others. That's another reason why you'd be special. We have to try and protect ourselves, but we do have a tendency to get drawn in to help other people. Um, is any of this making any sense to you?
Yes, yes, yes. The
Okay. I
the
do,
heart issues. She was a nurse, so she would say something like that. So
Okay, all right. So that's fine. Okay, so I don't know why she's circling her heart, but anyway, but she's a good lady, I will say to you, and she's watching over you. But Ava, I kind of feel at the moment we're a bit stuck with you. I think you go one step forward and one step backwards. And I think maybe where you came on with the question was you feel, well, if I'm special, why am I having such a hard time? Am I right?
yeah, yeah. Um,
Yeah. Well, it's
and
interesting. I get told I'm special all the time. And yet I keep looking at other people thinking, well, their life's really cherished and mine isn't particularly. You just keep losing the people I love from me. So, what I'm trying to say to you is we are special because I think it's that we take whatever they give us, we still carry on and we still give our best to the people around us in the best way we can. So as an example, that we are to spirit. But we do have to be careful and protect ourselves because whilst we might be special, they can work us to death and we have to learn to say no as well. And I feel at the moment it is time for you to be you.
okay, okay.
So I kind of want to push some other people away from you just to say, let Ava just sort herself out at the moment.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, is there something specific you want to ask me? I mean, I wasn't the lady that told you that, but I'm talking generally, and what I feel for you is that you've had a really tough time. That makes it special. It sounds
Well,
bizarre, but
okay. Um, well, my grandmother worked for the police department because she was the psychic helping them out. And, and excuse me, I was discouraged as a child to acknowledge any possibility, but I'm exploring things as an adult, and I'm finding out more and more that I'm a very intuitive person,
mm-hmm.
but it confuses me. So, um,
Yeah. Okay. I think it confuses us all, to be honest with you. It's just like, again, if you saw my show last week, it's like stuff I just knew, but I thought everybody was the same as me. I didn't know that not everybody was as intuitive. But that's certainly a big thing. Look, if you want to go on a spiritual journey, we get conditioned when we're younger, do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that. And we follow it because that's what our parents are telling us. However, when we're not comfortable with it, it's like we're stuck in a box and we just kind of need to get out the box. It's like something doesn't feel right. I feel like I need to be doing this. And when you're being pushed by spirit, you will get that feeling. But what I will say is the one thing I do get for Ava is I do think you need to protect yourself a bit because I do feel you're very, very open,
okay, yes,
which means you're taking
yeah,
on far too much all the time. That will drain you. What we have to learn to do is work when we work and then not work, if you can get my meaning. It's a bit like everybody else. We need to go, that's enough now. I just need to be me. I need to relax and I just need to have my time.
okay.
Is your dad here?
My what?
Your father? Where's your father?
My father passed.
Okay, well, I think he's here. That's what I was trying to say to you because they were going here to me. So what I want to say to you is your father is immensely proud of you.
I can understand that. That would be him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
immensely proud of you. I almost feel he's more proud of you since he passed than when he was here. Sounds bizarre, but I think it's because you're now starting to be you and say almost, I don't care what anybody else thinks. I just want to be me. And I think you're getting some knocks like we all do as we go through in our spiritual journey, but that's normal. Don't worry about that. We are supposed to have those knocks, and we're supposed to also maybe lose some friendships and connections that we used to have. But your dad just said, keep on going, girl, keep on going. Now, interesting because I've had that message from both of them, just keep on going. So I definitely think it's about your spiritual journey. That kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah, yeah, and
You're a real daddy's. You're a real daddy's girl, Ava. You were a real daddy's girl, weren't you?
I didn't feel like that. We conflicted a lot.
Oh, well,
we
he
were
loved you so much. Honest. Do you know what, Ava? He comes through with so much love. Maybe he just wasn't good at expressing himself, but I think he kind of did it out of love. He's lovely.
Yeah,
I like him. I like him. He's a nice energy for me to work with. And maybe he didn't realise it, but I think he had immense love for you, Ava. He says you made some bad choices in the past.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah.
So I feel that it wasn't out of, it was still out of love. So do you get what I'm trying to say? He wasn't having a go at you. I feel like the messages were out of love. Maybe the delivery wasn't as good as what it could have been.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
okay.
I knew he loved me.
He does immensely.
What?
He does immensely. He's just got so much love for you. Really, so much love for you.
Well, I'm kind of carrying on the tradition of what he taught me.
Well, that's good, but that makes sense about exactly, and so that makes sense about he's more proud of you almost now than when you were alive, when he was alive, because I feel that you have done those things. So that makes absolute sense, and I have to say you've certainly turned into the person he always hoped you would be, and more.
Wow. Oh, now you got me in tears.
Oh, bless you. Okay. Maybe that was the message you needed to hear because, I think your dad, he said, I tried to say it, but I don't think your dad was always great with words, if you can get my meaning. So he was probably a bit of a Joe Blunt. But what I will say is he wanted to say it in the right way so that you would understand that he's like put you on a pedestal, my love. And he's just saying, you're just doing a fantastic job, but make sure you look
Yeah,
after you.
yeah, yeah.
All right?
Well, since he passed away, I have also went into painting artwork and stuff like that. And he was a natural at it, but he never pursued that part. But his sister did, and so I kind of took that on too.
Can I ask you, have you ever done any psychic art?
Psychic art? Not psychic art. No, I haven't.
Because I'm being told you would be really good at it. So I could. So this could be. Sometimes it's like you might see paint someone's mum or dad that's passed. You just bring them through that way, or it could be someone's guides. But I am being told you need to pursue psychic art.
I'm going to have to read up on that because I'm not too sure what that means.
Okay.
I do know that when I sit there and paint, it's almost like the paintbrush does it itself, and the wood guides me. I paint on wood.
There you go. That's exactly what psychic art is, because literally the paintbrush takes over, and it's just like, this is what I'm painting. They never know who they're painting, but they do know that they do need to paint it, if you can get my meaning.
Yeah. And
I'm just wondering now if your grandmother did that when she was working with the police. I don't know. I wouldn't know, but because obviously it might be we're looking out for this person, and she might just psychically be able to paint it. But I am being told psychic art would be right for you. And when you said that your paintbrush took over, that makes perfect sense. That's exactly why I'm getting that message.
Okay, yeah. That is something I needed to know too. Very good.
Well, if you're going down a spiritual journey, different things are right for different people. I mean, I couldn't paint to save my life, so that certainly wouldn't be something they would probably give to me. But immediately they went, tell her she needs to do psychic art, and I went, okay. So read up on it, but there's no rule book to psychic art, if you can get my meaning. Some people will be sitting there and just suddenly start to draw and say, does anybody recognize this person? And somebody might say, that was my dad that passed, or my brother that passed, or my mum that passed. And so you don't know why you've been drawing it, but you have. And the other thing is, sometimes people can see psychically or draw somebody's spirit guide for them. So there's different ways to do it, but it's always that they don't actually necessarily know what they're drawing. It's really for somebody else to say, this is who it is. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there are some fabulous psychic artists out there that really do. And that is the way that they bring spirit through for them. They use their art to do it and then get the connection that way.
Yeah. Okay.
But interesting, maybe that links with your grandmother. Yeah?
Yeah. I don't think that links to my grandmother, the one that was psychic, but it is definitely a link to my father's side of the family, because there's many things that were created and they just did it.
There you go. So it could be your big connection to the spiritual world, psychic world. The spiritual world really is being able to draw other people's, family that's passed, or their spirit guides, things that they're going to work with that are going to help them move forward with their lives.
Yeah. See, on my grandmother that was psychic, she lived in a time that it was still taboo, and so she closed herself off to the world and just helped out the police force. But I'm more open to the world because everything's coming out, and it's like, finally, I feel relieved because everything's starting to come out. So,
Well, that's good. And that's what I'm saying. When you've been living a life, you feel like you're in a box and think, I need to get out of here. You can't quite describe it, because I remember, I was in corporate most of my life, really, um, in the corporate world. And all the time I kept thinking, well, I can do the work, but I just don't fit in here. And things would happen, and feelings and stuff I used to get. And I think, oh gosh, and I'd feel very uncomfortable sometimes about certain people at work. I don't mean
yeah,
in a way that they were. I didn't mean in a sexual way. I meant more. I didn't trust them, or I got overwhelming, feelings. So
yeah,
what I'm saying is, but I just kept thinking, I don't belong here, but I don't know where I do belong. And I think eventually they get us and bring us where we should have been all those years ago. And like I said, I was brought up Church of England, so I didn't have the opportunity to even discuss spirit in any shape or form, because it was never even something that was mentioned in my household. So I didn't understand it till
yeah,
a lot later in life. And had I had the opportunity, my life would have made a lot more sense to me, a lot more sense.
yeah. So that could
Okay?
be, that could be too of what that gal said. You're special to the spirit world. She must have known that I had this intuition that I need to get out and do it and stuff. Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Ava, I'm going to have
There's
to close the show in a moment. So it's been lovely speaking to you. I hope this has been of help to you anyway, and good luck with your spiritual journey. And,
okay.
it's funny, we have the choices card out first, go with it, and it says you will be successful. So certainly make your choice and go with it.
Very good. That's, yeah. Thank you. You've been very helpful and very kind.
Well, you're very welcome. All the best.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. So, nearly at the end of the close. If you want to connect with me, it's at lesleycarverpsychicmedium.com, or you can do me on Facebook, like Lesley Carver Psychic Medium. But whatever you're doing at the moment, make those choices, go with it. It's certainly no better time to do it. I really do think you're going to reap the rewards, but do what's right for you, not what's right for somebody else, because that's the only way it's going to work out. If we hold on to and we take the money route just for the money rather than what we really feel we want to do, then it's not going to work out anyway. I think I'm being told I've got to close the show, so I will speak to you all again at 7:30 UK time next Tuesday. All the best. Have a lovely week. Bye for now.